Hey y'all, I'm Hummy and I'm here with the second Dear Hummy question. There is a website page where you can ask me questions. It's hummysworld.com/ask.html. And you can put your question in here and hit submit, and I will try to answer as many questions as possible. I'm so excited that I got so many so quickly. This question, though, is not an easy one for me to answer. Jean asks, templates should be fairly easy, right? Why don't they seem easy to me? Now, I really wish I was sitting behind Jean's computer and watching her work because, yes, they are so easy for me. I love templates. Especially as a jump start. And I could tell you why they're not so easy if I was sitting behind your screen watching you. So I can only guess why they might not be easy. And first of all, that might be because you're not using the keyboard shortcuts, and I'm going to show you that again in just a minute. Secondly, I think templates have evolved over time. So let's take a look at this. If you go to Hummy's World and type on classes, go to course 1 and then lesson 6L, you're going to find I have my template tutorials up on YouTube. They've been there forever. Of course, they're in the subscriber area. And you're going to see here, this one here is a template tutorial flat. These tutorials are so old, from like 2005, that things have evolved and changed. They used to be mainly just flat or sketches, and they are no longer that. Somebody came up with the genius idea of doing the layered templates. And here are some ways in this video, not necessarily the most helpful ways, but in this video we show you how to use Control J and Control G, and go watch these videos and see if they help you. The other reason is because they have evolved from the simple, easy templates to these templates where you're not just using Control G, they have placeholders. Now, Pretty Peony Designs, who is associated with us here at Hummy's World, has this beautiful, wonderful download for July that you can come and do. Just download here, and there's the layout she made with it. Wonderful. But you see the flowers in her layout are not these placeholder flowers. Now, this is the trend. This is an awesome template, but it's not always the easiest for me to use. And I like old school templates. And let me show you the difference. Here's my old school templates. You don't see all those little elements telling you where to put the elements. You only see the basics where where you just group, and then you add what you want, where you want afterwards. And so let's kind of look at each of these templates. Here's my final layout with that. And you can see I do have other things added. I'm a minimalist kind of person. So let's go into Photoshop and look at these. So here is my template, and I have my Honoring Grandpa kit here. It's a patriotic kit, and I'm just going to, let's go back in here. Why aren't you going? There we go. Computer getting slow. I've worked it too much. So I'm going to go to my background layer. I'm going to drag in my paper from my kit, and I'm going to drag it right into the template and line it up. And then all I have to do If you are in Photoshop Elements, you press Control G. If you are in the full version of Photoshop, in any of the CS versions, you hit Alt Control G, and it groups it. And just like that, it is grouped with the background layer. Now I can go in and get another paper. Let's say I want this one. And I'm going to make sure I click on this layer in my template first. It's the ring layer, to make sure that I'm putting my paper directly above it. Then put my paper in. That might be a reason why it's hard, but if you're having to drag your layers around in order to group them. And so I have that paper here, and another way you can group, other than the keyboard shortcuts of Control G in Photoshop Elements and Alt Control G in the full version, is to hold down your Alt key and hover between the two layers. This works in any versions of Photoshop and Photoshop Elements. And you see this little icon, and then you can click on it. And just like that, I have grouped it. And so that is how easy it is to fill these. If I wanted to put my photo in, I'm going to click on that, make sure I'm on my layer, drag my photo in, and group it with the photo. And so it is easy, but I think what makes it harder is the trend now to these kind of templates where you have placeholders. Now, I'm not just going to group this flower element with this layer. Instead, what I need to do is I'm going to make sure I'm on that layer, and I'm going to go find in my kit a flower element. Here's one, and I'm going to drag it in. And now I'm not going to Control G with this. I'm going to resize it to about that size. And it's right above this element here. But she has a custom drop shadow ready for me there. So I'm going to right click, choose Copy Layer Style, right click on my layer, and choose Paste Layer Style. Now, I don't want my file to get too big. I could just make this invisible, but instead I'm going to delete it. And so there's a lot more steps. And then in order to do this again, I'm going to go to, let's see, this would be flower 2 maybe. So I am going to go back to my flower layer, Control J. I'm going to have to go down and find this flower, and then move it and resize it so it's the same size as her flower, and copy the layer style onto this one because it may be custom, and then delete this layer. Oh, now see, I'm even on the wrong one. So see, where is this one? Oh, I need to go down one more. So see, that's why it makes it different. I'm going to copy this layer style onto this one, and then get rid of this. I even labeled it, and I got it wrong. Okay, so here's another flower, and I'm going to try to get this as 3. I'm going to hit Control J to duplicate my flower. I'm going to bring it down to right above where it says 3, and then move it over here and resize because you want it to be right above the one that you're working on. I'm actually going to twirl it. Since we're using the same flower, we don't want it to be exact same angle. And then where is it? I don't know why, but it went way up there. It was above this one that said 3. I'm going to copy the layer style and put it on here, and then get rid of this original, or I could make it invisible. And so we can keep going. But you see, there's a lot more steps when you have these placeholders and they're really great. for those people like me that do not cluster very easily, um, and it helps me to create a cluster, but you have to be a little bit better with your program in order to be able to uh, put things in where the placeholders are. And that is why I think that it is much more difficult for you to use templates than the old school way, like the templates I put out, where I don't have those little placeholders. Everything I have here is meant to be clipped with something, uh, and um, and once you're done doing that, you go from there, and you just simply edit the text and then add your elements wherever you want. Hey, it's title. I can just edit my text there, and then put my elements wherever I want. So the key is getting templates that, one, will challenge you, like this one, to get better with your program, or two, ones that are more basic. Find those templates that reach toward your ability and where you want to go with digital scrapbooking. So I hope I've answered that question. And if you need more help with templates, if you get stuck at any point, just send me another Ask Me, and I'll try to do another video. And thanks for asking this question, Jean.